What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm that BS guy, and we have got some stuff to talk about. We have got a lot of good stuff to talk about. It's a very exciting update this week. Very exciting. So, before I get into the stats, I just want to say that that eating and all the steps, like if you've watched the past week's videos from, the very first video that I made all the way till now, you've been knowing that eating's kind of like a pain and kind of a struggle. I will say that there has been some times where some food would be laid in front of me and I don't think I can eat it, particularly like carne, some meats and things here and there. As long as they're in smaller bites, honestly, I'm feeling just straight, steak and meats pretty darn easy, which was amazing to me, which is great because that's exactly what you want to eat, high protein. But anyways, I'll talk about that in just a minute here. Let's get to the news and the stats. So the first thing is, I'll start with the stats just like usual. So I had my original surgery at Mexico Bariatric Center at Me Doctor Hospital on April 6, 2019. My pre-operation weight was 378 pounds. Hefty boy, that's what I'm talking about. And my surgery weight was 363 pounds. And as of the semi-official weigh-in, because usually I weigh in at the mornings and the early AM on Saturday morning, but I was on a trip to see family this weekend, so I weighed myself when I got back, so give or take. But I did weigh myself before I flew out, and there wasn't a lot of big differences, so I'm pretty confident that this is exactly where I'm at, which is really exciting. So, drum roll. I am at 298.6 pounds. That's right. No longer in 300s. Boom. As they say, you get surprised sometimes. That I think last week I was like 307. Now, mind you, I rounded up, so I was actually 306 point something. But to drop to sub 300, that is nuts to me. That is well over 78 pounds. Yeah, I mean, I'm almost at 80 pounds. Holy crap, almost 80 pounds lost within, a little bit less than 4 months. That is nuts. Wait, is it? So April, May, June. Yeah, 3 months. Almost like 3 months and 3 days. Unbelievable. I'm telling you right now, if you are looking at getting surgery, okay, if you're looking at the sleeve and going, okay, that should be good enough, but if you're a really big person like I was, honestly, look at the duodenal switch. It is night and day. Like, if you look at some of my older pictures, older videos, you'll see that, my cheeks are a lot more puffy and I have a lot more stuff going down here in my jowl area, and even this shirt. I mean, this is one of the very first shirts. I don't have a lot of wardrobe right now, and because I'm transitioning sizes, but if you look at where the shoulder lines are on these, right? So this is where my shoulders are supposed to sit, and this is where my shoulders were sitting when I first bought this shirt, and so they should be way up here, to align with my shoulders but this is a lot larger shirt than what I probably should be wearing right now. So that's why it looks kind of big, on me right now, and that's completely fine. I'm not here to complain about that. Shirts and wardrobe, I am not worrying about until I get closer to my ideal weight, and the more and more this is happening, the more and more speediness of this is dropping off. I'm fully, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself here. I fully expect to plateau. I do, and I've been anticipating it and going, okay, no matter what, it's gonna be fine. You just keep your score, keep your track on what you're eating, and just keep going with the system, and everything will be fine. but I still losing weight in fairly good increments, and I don't know what the heck's happening. I don't know. I'm not dehydrating myself. I'm not, I'm not eating. It's just crazy. The duodenal switch is really effective. I can see why. I will say this. I can definitely see why. They warn people that if you are not Johnny on the spot with your vitamins, that you're not gonna like the surgery, because it is extremely impactful. I saw my family for the first time since my surgery down in California this weekend, and all of them, made pretty substantial comments about my weight, and in a positive way. It also makes me think that, secretly deep down, they knew how big I was, but they still love me anyways. But at the same time, come on, tell me the truth. Tell me not to be a fat ass. Because we know it. I mean, any of you watching this video who are looking at getting this surgery, I've been there, man. I've been exactly where you are, and you know how big you are. You do. I mean, it's something that we don't like to talk about. I didn't like to talk about it, but I mean, do we know that we're big? Yeah, we do. Are we necessarily down on ourselves? No. And that was something that really drove me nuts when I was bigger than I am now. I'm still big. I'm not saying I'm small. I'm not saying I'm sexified or anything like that right now. But what I am saying is that when I would have conversations with folks that don't have weight issues, they would be like, "It's not about your weight, man. It's not about your weight. You're a great person. People should like you, and blah 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 blah." Listen, man. just because someone's willing to date you doesn't mean that I'm also willing to date that person too. I still have standards, and my standards are pretty high. Not necessarily specifically speaking physically, but I mean. I'll just say right now, the girls that I was interested in were definitely not interested in me. So, it's interesting to see, what's going to be happening here. I did a little experiment. I posted some of my newer pictures that people have taken from me just to see what happened, on some of the dating websites or media apps, that I really hadn't touched for, I don't know, good almost a year, just sitting there dormant. So most likely, I would open them up occasionally and just see what's going on and see if I missed anything. So they weren't my profile wasn't deactivated, so just know that. But at the same time, I definitely wasn't proactive on it because I was getting no bites. What was the point? It's like going fishing every day in a dry lake bed. It doesn't do anything for you. So I updated those pictures, and within 48 hours, I had more people wanting to talk to me on that than I did for the past entire year. Now, it could be because they're good pictures and they weren't taken by me, and I apparently suck at taking pictures. But what I will tell you is that if you just look at it for face value for what it is, it's not a scientific thing, but if you really take a look at what it is for face value, I lose almost 70 pounds by the time these pictures are up there, and all of a sudden, I now have people interested. I wonder what changed. I didn't change a word on my profile. I didn't change anything else. I just uploaded 2 pictures and took down some of the other ones. But even so, it's a sad world we live in that, that so many people are shallow, and I can't say I'm not involved in that. If I'm not attracted to a girl, I'm not gonna really pursue her. So I can't speak like I'm above the fray here. But what I will say is that, for people who have never been big and they don't understand that you could be the best and most awesome person ever, it really takes a special person to look past that physical, representation of you and only look at your core I personally have only met a couple of them, and guess what? They are never ever single because they're always dating some person that really appreciates that. And kudos to them. You know, like, I kowtow before you. You are like way better people than I would ever be in my wallowing in shallowness in some cases. But you know, the reality of my weight loss is actually starting to sink in, because now I'm getting a lot more people commenting on it. Heck, I even had a TSA agent comment on my weight. He looked at my picture and was like, "Lost some weight," and just handed it back to me. And it's funny because they actually look at the picture harder now, because my face is so, I guess you could say, rounded, much more rounded. I have a much more elongated face now, rather than that rounded big man face. In fact, even my dad this weekend was like, "You're getting your face back." It's like I lost it or something. And then these little guys, they're getting bigger because now they're not being swallowed up by just a big old cheek. So, I mean, that's helpful. That seems to be a really good selling point for me sometimes. But, you know, what I can just tell you that if you're watching these videos and if you're still looking, or if you're still researching and you're thinking about it, don't just go with the minimalist approach. Like, I get it, VSGers. Some of you have done it, and I know a couple of you in real life that are extremely successful. But let me tell you, like, if you're a person that you think that just having that smaller stomach is going to work for you, great, do it. It's, you know, it's less complications. You know, it's not as intrusive. You know, you don't have to do any kind of vitamin regimen. You just have to eat and eat wisely. You know, but if you're a really big person, you know, somewhere in the 48 plus BMI, let's just even say 45 plus, like, or if you're diabetic and things of that nature, you may want to look into this surgery, the one that I had, and it has completely changed the way I operate. Now, can you have fun? Absolutely. Can you drink alcohol? Yes. But there are some limitations to that. And if you want to see a video where I do some experimenting on that, go ahead and click right here, over in this yonder area, and I will, you know, post that video. But you know, I was just down with my family in California. They like beer a lot, and more to the point, I loved beer a lot. But beer is carbonated, and that is one thing. And VSGers, you're in the same book, so this is not something unique to the Duodenal switch. But carbonation, it's gotta go. You can't do it. It stretches out that stomach, you know. And the biggest thing, and this is something that, like, I actually do get comments on sometimes from people, is drinks while you're eating. They're like, "Well, why aren't you touching your water? Or why aren't you ordering a drink?" You know, like, well, I want to eat something, so I can't drink anything 30 minutes prior and 30 minutes after. Now, have I pushed the limit? Yes, on the after part, and here's why. Okay, the really the biggest deal with the drinking is to not, you know, wipe out what's already in your stomach. Okay, so when you drink when you're eating, you know, that helps push things through, and then all of a sudden now your stomach's not as full because that liquid is kind of pushing things through your stomach into your intestines, and now there's more space in your stomach, and so now you can eat more food and take in more calories. So by not drinking 30 minutes before and up to 30 minutes after, you're not going to make yourself hungry, okay, and eat more food. But what I have found is that once I reach that point of fullness, like, as long as I wait at least 15 minutes, okay, at least 15 minutes, I can then start to sip on some liquids and then drink heavier after that is over as well. And honestly, it hasn't made me hungrier, it hasn't made me eat more, and that's completely fine. And you know, it seems to be working okay. I mean, you really have to kind of figure out how the whole thing fits into your lifestyle. You know, everybody's got their own little favorite foods and things of that nature. I don't have any restrictions on my foods now, but I can tell you right now, carbohydrates. Not necessarily pastas. I haven't really delved into pastas yet. I'm assuming they still taste good. But I'm talking like tortillas, and breads. A lot of them do not taste good anymore. It's like my taste buds kind of change. They just don't feel appealing, which is not a bad thing, because those are typically the things that make you fatter, when you're eating those carbohydrates. So as long as I'm getting my proteins in and my fats in, things seem to be doing all right. Not really complaining so far. So anyways, it's a really exciting. I'm really excited. Breaking that 300 plane is absolutely huge, and since I'm not going on vacation or going to see family this weekend, I'm going to get back into my workout routine starting on Thursday through Sundays, and kind of let that ride as best as I can. And it's just a really, I'm so grateful that I made that decision. If you're at the point, if you're watching this, and if you're at the point where you're just like, man, I don't know, it seems too good. It seems like all this stuff is. Look, I'm not trying to push you into this. This is not. It's not what these videos are about. I am just saying that this is life changing. Okay, life freaking changing. Where I never used to lose weight just by eating right, or just by living a day to day. I never used to be able to maintain my weight. I would always gain more and more based upon my genetics. Now though, my body is leveling out based upon the calories that I'm absorbing and things of that nature, and I feel like I'm actually a normal person again, or now for the first time. Whereas before I was, I felt a little abnormal because I needed so many calories to make me feel satiated, and that just kind of kept bloating me up and building me up. It was a struggle to lose weight. I would have to starve myself basically in order to lose weight, and it was a miserable existence. Now I don't feel hungry. I feel fine. People are like, oh, don't you have low energy? I'm like, no, I don't. I feel good. I do. I really do. It's been a positive, good experience. So that is my week 9. I want to say it's week 9, week 9 or 10, somewhere in that mix, update. And let me tell you, good stuff. So thank you so much for watching my videos. I'm getting more and more followers. I'm up to 41 now, which is freaking sweet. I want to get up to that 100 mark, and I'm getting people watching or making comments, and I'm paying attention. Still no Twitter followers, but we'll get there. We'll get there at some point. Last and surely not least, some of you have been pointing out that on some of my older videos where you saw that microphone that I was using, some of the audio doesn't work that well. That's because I found out after the fact that my vocal audio only came through the left channel of the computer for whatever the reason. So if you're listening to these videos on a headset and you're wondering why you only hear music on certain videos, try putting the other headset in, and then you'll hear my voice, or headpiece, excuse me, because if you're only listening through your right ear, you're not going to hear me on that. With these newer videos where you don't see the microphone in it, it's fine. The audio is completely fine. It goes through both channels just fine. So that's why I'm no longer using that microphone. So good use of money. I'll figure out a better sound situation soon. But until then, thank you so much for watching the video. If you did like it, please click that subscribe button down below, and hit a big old thumbs up on that like button. That would be super duper to help support the channel. Remember, I'm not doing this necessarily for any money. If they decide to ever monetize my channel for whatever reason, then cool, but I don't really foresee that happening. And more to the point, this was an experience that I wanted to share with all of you and help you kind of get to that point and see where I'm going. Once I hit month 4, just FYI, I may do 2-week updates on my weight instead of 1, and do other types of videos instead of the update videos. But we'll see. I like talking to you guys, and so I'll probably still do these anyways, just regardless. So feel free to ask questions down below. I would love to do like a question and answer type video. That'd be awesome. But I want to make sure I'm not just pulling questions off the internet. I want actual questions from people. So feel free to post them below. Anyways, thank you so much. I will see you next time. See you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.